Hello, hello, hello. It's Keita Williams, founder and chief strategist of Successfully. Successfully is an elite accountability practice, so that makes me your personal professional butt kicker. Hey, did you all realize January is over? We got a little bit of January left to go. But yeah, this year is already rocking and rolling. So January is we're going right into February. So I want to thank you all for committing yourself to your goals. If you got a little wobbly, don't fret. Just pick up right where you left off. You don't need to wait for a moment in time. You don't need to wait for Monday. You don't need to wait until the stars align. Just take action. Take inspired action. Okay. So if you got a little wobbly, just jump right back into it. We're excited to have you here. We're excited because I have been yelling from the mountaintops, the not the literal mountaintops, but I've been uh, declaring and proclaiming that this is going to be your best year yet in your business. It's going to be our best year yet in our business. It's going to be your best year as well. And in order for us to make that happen, we've got to take action. We've got to take action, and we've got to, you know, go for it. I'm not saying do everything with great courage and gusto. Take action even when you're scared. Take action when you don't feel like it. Take action when you can't see the results right in front of you. Take action. Okay. So the month of January, as as January is starting to take a bow, we I want to encourage you around our theme, which is growing pains for business gains. That as you're scaling your coaching or consulting business, there are going to be some things along the way that you have to do differently. There are going to be some things that just don't feel good as you're growing. Sometimes growth, uh, you know, they call it a comfort zone for a reason because it's comfortable and sometimes it's cozy. And so when we're stepping out of our comfort zone to grow, there are going to be new challenges and things, setbacks, but there's going to be like these amazing victories on the other side of it. So I wanted to share few thoughts my last few thoughts on the idea of growing, scaling, making this your best year yet. And so I decided to kind of bucket this into three P's because, if you hang out with me long enough, there's acronyms, alliterations, and rhyming. You'll find that I have a naming convention that it doesn't stray far from those few things. And so my three P's, um, the first P is to play full out. When we're thinking about growing our business, hitting our big, hairy, audacious goal, taking it to that next level, I want you to play full out. And so, what does that mean? That means to be consistent. That means consistency. That means discipline. That means, like I said, taking action when you don't feel like it, taking action when you can't see it. Usually, I just had a call this morning about this. Usually, there's nothing broken. You're not doing, you're not, what's usually happening is you're not taking making those money making activities. You're not doing enough of that to make the money, right? And so at a certain point, business is a numbers game. And so if you aren't taking action consistently and hitting those numbers, it's going to be a challenge to get to your big goal this year. So play full out, be consistent, track things, look at those numbers and see what your data is telling you. And, leverage technology and automation. Use all the tools at your disposal so that you can play full out, so that you can do more of the things that are in your zone of genius than what's not, right? Also, when I say play full out, you have to kind of think of yourself like a professional athlete. So, week to week, if we just even look at the sport of football, you can't be too caught up in the win from last week that you're not paying attention to the game you're in this week. Nor can you be so fixated on the loss from last week that you're not paying attention to this week's game. And so I want you to, when I say play full out, I want you to recover from those no's or that rejection a lot faster. I want you to recover from the wins a lot faster. I used to do a what I like to call a victory lap of procrastination, where I would have a big win and I would celebrate that win for weeks and not get right back to taking action to move the business forward. I'd be so excited. Yay, we got a new client. I'm celebrating for half the month instead of getting right back to what brought in the actions that brought in that new client. So I want you to recover from the wins and I want you to recover from the losses faster and play full out. Play at the highest level. Play Show up as the best version of yourself on consultation calls. Show up as the best version of yourself on social media. Show up as the best version of yourself on your coaching calls. Show up on the best as the best version of yourself in networking events. Show up as the best version of yourself if you're doing a speaking engagement. Show up, play full out, be a professional. Take this seriously. And so be consistent, leverage technology, recover from those no's, recover from those yeses, and just play full out. Have you ever pushed yourself in your business? Have you ever pushed yourself when you thought you couldn't do anymore? Have you ever pushed yourself beyond that, what you thought was your breaking point? Have you? Play full out. That's our first P. Play full out. Leave everything out on the court. I'm not saying burn yourself out and stay up all night and blah, blah, blah. I'm not saying that. I'm saying play like a professional. Play like a pro. And if you're not sure how to play like a pro, look around you. Look around you. I have done a live stream every Monday for the last 2.5, almost 3 years, with the exception of 4th of July. That's consistency. Whether 3 people are watching us live, 12 people, 100 people, no people, I show up every Monday, 3 p.m. Pacific time. That's being consistent. That's taking action. I hope y'all get something out of this. If you don't, I'm going to stay consistent. I'm going to show up as the best version of myself. I'm going to be prepared. I'm going to have my notes. I'm going to have my face beat, and I'm going to come here and I'm going to coach the lights out. For everyone that said that they can't afford coaching this year or last year said they couldn't afford coaching, you know where to be at 3 p.m. Pacific time on Monday. We have given so much value in here. There is a whole coaching program in this community. Go watch the videos. Be consistent, play full out. The second thing I want you to consider as you're scaling your business, I want you to protect your baby. Protect your business. And so what do I mean by that, protecting your business? I mean, have a good attorney. And I know that that is expensive, but have a good attorney, work out a payment arrangement, because when you don't, you end up eating that on the back end. Have a good attorney. Get yourself some business insurance as you're taking on bigger projects. If you're doing corporate work, some organizations won't even work with you if you don't have business insurance. Get yourself some business insurance. I can't give you any, I'm not going to make suggestions on who to go with, what vendor to go with for these things, but you got to protect yourself. Have really clear rules of engagement with your clients. If you want to protect your time, protect your peace, protect your IP, have very clear rules of engagement. This is how we work with one another. If you don't set the standard for how you interact with people in general, whether they're your client or not, if you don't set the standard of how you want to be treated, you don't set the standard on expectations, and you don't set the standard on outcomes, you don't set the standard on punctuality, people will treat you any old kind of way. Some of this behavior you can model. Some of it you have to set out clear boundaries. Some of it is just this is how we work with one another. This is what you can expect from me, and here's what I'm expecting from you. Set the standard. So have those rules of engagement. So have those back end things like attorney, a good accountant, business insurance. Don't wait to scamper to get those things. Don't wait till you have a big agreement that you need to negotiate to go looking for that. Don't wait until you're being onboarded as a new vendor and you have to scamper to get Business insurance, been there, done that. Um, don't wait until you have a client get so out of pocket and so far out of scope. Just get it on the front end. I would also say, in that rules of engagement and how you work with your clients, be real clear about cancellation policies, because there are folks that won't take action and they will play the victim. They won't take action, they'll play the victim, and they will try to cancel and get their money back, even though they didn't do the work. So make sure you have all of that really clear. And that's something to work with your attorney on, but that's also something to be clear with your clients on. This is how this works. Because how many times have you signed an agreement or terms and conditions and didn't read it all the way through? Right? So again, rules of engagement, being really clear about policies, cancellations, all that back end stuff, being really clear about who is your accountant, being really clear about who is your business attorney. And I'm going to say this last thing. And I'm not done. I'm not done. Well, this is the last thing I have to say about protecting your business. And lean in if you want to hear this. You can accept this however you want to accept it, and it's controversial, but I really want you to think about, especially if you're getting into high ticket coaching, high ticket sales, um, or your consulting packages are becoming a little more high ticket. I want you to think about not playing bank for your client. Ask for a paid in full. Ask for a 50% deposit. Because oftentimes there's an attrition, and you'll hear more about this in the coming days. But like when people have monthly installments and they sign up for these long engagements, and I've been on both sides of this equation. Um, but you can find yourself in a space um, where you have too many of those folks that are transitioning off or whatever. So and it can take you 90 days to replace a lost client, right? And 30 to 90 days to replace a lost client. So I really want you to think about, asking for the paid in full, providing other funding options for them, asking for in your consulting work, asking for a minimum of a 50% deposit to get work started. Especially, with some organizations, you could be looking at net 45, net 90, and those are business days, baby. Right? So I want you to just think about those little small asks that you can make that gets more cash in your actual hand, right? Um, we I think there's a point where you can get somebody on your team to handle those conversations. It does get a little sticky in the coaching conversation when you have to talk about money, but like I think you do what you can to protect your business, right? And protecting your business, see what you can get prepaid, see what you can get, um, give a paid in full discount for folks that pay up front, right? Offer a sense of urgency by making it a one-time deal um, just these are all ways that you can protect your business. You'll have a little more, um, yeah, we like recurring revenue, but we also like to know that it's going to stay recurring, right? So, but these are all things that this stuff happens. This stuff happens, and so I want you to do your best to protect your business. And some of these things don't become a problem until you are at scale. Having really clear rules of engagement don't matter when you have two clients, and then you could talk to them. You have all this free time in the world to talk to them. It matters when you have a full client roster and you do not have bandwidth to play client Jenga, or you get so many text messages that it's hard to keep up with them. And who did you respond to? Who did you not respond to? Right? It doesn't become an issue until you have a very big corporate project and they don't work with vendors that don't have business insurance, right? or it doesn't become an issue until you have to put together a service agreement for a bigger project, right? That's outside of your standard coaching or your standard way of doing business. So these are all, they're not bad things, right? They're not bad things. There's an indication that you're growing, but you have to protect the baby. You wouldn't have your baby walking on the street with no coat on and no shoes. It's 30 some degrees here in Seattle. You wouldn't have your baby outside with no hat on. When you think about your business, protect your business, put a coat on the business. Let that baby run around barefoot. So we said playful out, protect your business. And then finally, people. Surround yourself with good people. So people is the final piece of this, and then I'm gonna let y'all get back to handling the week. But surround yourself with good people. Good people need good people. And I mean this in terms of your friends. Keep good friends. Have a good network. Have good clients and a good team. Surround yourself with good people. I personally have a no asshole policy. I got that from my dear friend Sarah. No asshole policy. If someone is acting an asshole, then we don't need to be friends. We don't need to be colleagues. I don't need to work with you. I don't have a corporate job. I don't have to work with a client that I'm not excited about. Right? So surround yourself with good people. And that is, good people in your network, good people on your team, good people that are your friends. I think that life is so much easier because life will be lifing when you have a good community around you. Business is so much easier when you have a team that you trust, that are good at their jobs, that align with your mission and your vision, who support you when things are good or bad. Like business is a lot easier when you have that. And uh your client work is so much more rewarding when you have good clients. It's so much more rewarding. It's so much more rewarding when you're excited to talk to them and you're excited for their wins and you're excited to help them navigate next steps. You're excited to help lay out a game plan for them. It's so much easier. It's so much easier. And so with that, I just want to remind you that you know, when you're really thinking about making this the best year yet, play full out, be consistent, show up as the best version of yourself in every scenario. Protect your business. Protect your business. And surround yourself. People, have good people in your life, in your business, on your client roster. You save yourself so much trouble when you have that around you. So with that, I have been saying this to anybody that will listen. I want this to be the best year yet. I want this to be the best year you've had in your business to date. I want you to have that explosive growth. If you've been thinking about building your business and transitioning out of your corporate role, I want that for you this year. If you've been thinking about hitting your first six figures, I want that for you. If you've been thinking about your past six figures, you want to hit that seven figures. I want that for you this year. Play full out, protect your business, surround yourself with good people. And if you find that you're not exactly sure the next logical step, or you have a lot of great ideas and you're having a hard time just distilling that into an actionable game plan, I want you to reach out and book a strategy session. I want you to book a call at successbully.com/call and let's brainstorm how we can make this your best year yet with without, your hair falling out, you staying up all night, burning the midnight oil and feeling like crap. How can we make this your best year yet so you work less, stress less, and make more money? So feel free to reach out, book a strategy session. And once again, I am Keita Williams, founder and chief strategist of Successfully. Let's get after it.